So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do, 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 do. What's up, Bheka Mthethwa? Kunjani mfethu?
Shop, kunjani? Look.
Iyaphila lokhu mfethu. Hey, ngaze
Yeah, man.
ngathokoza
Yeah,
ukuthi
man.
ufike. Soxoxa ziningi le ndaba mfethu.
Hey, I know. No, I am get ready, mfowethu.
Uready mfethu, siphendula yonke into. Kuyagijinywa mfethu. I think since saqala we've never had so many questions. I think abantu bebebuza nga5 nga6 per person. So bona, we'll see how much we go, we're able to get through. But I mean, the whole point of this thing is to try create a space where we don't just talk to the musician looking at the just the things they've done, but also the story for us is very important, to understand what your story is, what your upbringing was. But for the people who don't know who Bheka Mthethwa is, ungathini kubona ubani uBheka Mthethwa?
All right, it's nje mbekele phone go silent.
Yeah, bangasiphazamisi.
Yeah. Sure. No,
Yeah.
I'm on it now. In a nutshell, mfethu, uBheka Mthethwa is a proudly African bass player, producer, songwriter, you name it. For the past decade, I've consistently been offering bass guitar sessions for chart-topping albums in our country, and I've been honored to seventh and nabanye artists from outside the borders. I'm going to name drop.
Name drop, Puti. Name drop is fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I've been, I'm sure those that know me mostly from a gospel scene. So I think gospel chose me in a sense, figuring out the industry, and then the contacts, the hookups, the plugins were in that stream of the scene we work on. So if I could name drop, Count Joyous Celebration, the late Mams Bongile Kumalo, may her soul rest in peace. I've been working nabo Babu Tembam Kize, Steve Dyer, Maninga Kulu, and from abroad, about Kirk Franklin when they came here. Actually, I was really honored when he came for the first time at Durban. I was still in Durban back then.
Okay.
He saw us jamming and he asked to jam with me a show in, and to me that said a lot.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was crazy, man. About Donnie McClacken, about Vashon Mitchell, about Joe Metal. Yeah, man, listing the Gakulu. But in a nutshell, it didn't start there. I'm a village boy from a KZN Mpangeni, in a village called Mthethwa. So
okay.
I'm actually a royalty. Yeah.
Oh, really?
If the guys are familiar with KZN, there's a village Mthethwa, and then East Koti, Kwambo Nambi. That's where I come from. So I think I left them. I left the village Sengia Manje Ekasi Eskawini. I was going for my secondary level in terms of school. And that's where I got to really, be clued up about music and be really inclined to, it's okay. Guna my live drums and maybe my keyword kalaganje. Guna bass guitar. My plug go amp kalagam because bona they were ahead from the normal environment ngangijwayele emakaya. Yeah. So basically uBheka Mthethwa mfana wase South Africa oziqhenyayo ngobuzwe bakhe and or down to earth, but also or proud about the achievements asewenzile and actually honored ukusebenza nabantu owayebabukela ku TV sasemncane. We all know those stories, and it's actually such a great honor to eventually become a part of those big names umuntu wayebukela esakhula and drawing inspiration from them.
Yeah. So basically, also then, how were you as a young boy? Because at least since you understand, being as many to value boy like emakaya. I think long it's how much just a cast. So there's something ekaleni. But Bonjanje as a young boy, do you remember you to Bompa Nonjan?
Yeah, I remember very well. I was a very smart boy, very observant, not much of a talker.
Mm.
You know, I was always the type of speak when spoken to. You
Okay.
know, that kind of thing. Yeah, but as you can imagine, growing up under a very humbled background, yasemakaya,
Mm.
ukhuliswa ngerespect, ukhuliswa ngokuthi umuntu omdala, you know, methi one awuthi two, you know,
Mm.
uyamlalela. So I grew up under that environment, and obviously abazali bami ke, they are very principled and like proper Christian background.
Mm.
Ukhuliswa ngenkonzo, ukuthi
Mm.
you must, you know, wake up ekuseni on a Sunday, hambe esontweni. When you wake up before uye esikoleni, check if umama ufuna inkomishi etiye, those kind of things. Yeah. And I grew up actually having to walk mangeskoleni for almost 12 kilometers from a car.
Oh, yeah, that's serious. That's real.
It was really it was extreme. So I had to. So that was how many years? It was 6 years of my life. Actually, 7 years of my life. Going to a school and walking that long distance.
12 uyabuya or
no, I think it used to take me not to saying the experience, so it distance okay, I can't touch about my hour 30 minutes, yabo. Gcina seyehla kancane sengithi about 45 minutes because
ngoba so technique.
bese ngigroove
so phakathi so shy double time. Yeah, so you people also access balance.
Accent,
yeah, no. Okay, so basically yeah. No,
you can continue.
So basically yes, Mama, delay, not correct.
Yes, Mama, strong. So I was just covering my background to give everyone the picture of Indawo Nkulelegu, and those that have met me would maybe relate my character to my background. It's okay. So no wonder he's like this, you know. Talking to everyone, treating everyone with respect, and job celebrity, I equal all, and I cannot force it. I'm not a celeb. I will never be. You know, no matter good no matter how much I've worked and achieved in life, I will never be a celeb. So that was instilled in sasemncane respect to omunye umuntu because of the background engikhuliswe ngayo. Yeah.
Okay, so ufike esikhawini manje, and this is where you see the bass guitar. Who's this bass player who's playing? Who makes you feel like, yo, hey, I must play this thing?
Yeah, actually, I remember very well the very first bass players abebekona eKasi, really hot. I would count my brother Sabelo Masondo. Sabelo Masondo. Isondo, I will ask. So actually, he's the guy who sort of paved the way for me.
Okay.
In terms of okay, bass idlalwa kanje. And also, maybe I'm jumping the guns now. He's the one actually who plugged me in to the industry, because I was always like some sort of an understudy.
All right.
Yeah, okay, of some sort. So if he couldn't make it for a gig, he would recommend me. But Nakona, he would take calculated risks. About okay, Bheka, I think Bheka can handle this. This is too much for him, you know. Or something like that. So Sabelo Masondo was one of the ultimate experiences, inspirations, Sakula, and also Ubabu Tabang Mshweshwe.
Okay.
Who was like a guru. Actually, he was a teacher at Sabelo Masondo.
Okay.
A bass guitar, and he's a great composer. He's a great conductor. He's just passionate about umculo and combining the choirs, the bands, you know, stuff like that. So those were the greatest inspirations Zami Eskawin that I can remember, and of course I would from those experiences I would start now listening to other bass players, you know, in the music scene, obviously, you know, and now starting to understand it's okay. While I was still there, because now I was now basing
exposed.
Clue, it's okay. Yeah, exposed actually, exposure. It's okay, and And in 2002, actually, I was doing grade 11. I was doing grade 11 then. There's a guy called Ketsa Dlamini. He's from Swaziland. I actually featured him on one of the tracks, album Yam Supernal Sounds. He's a poet, you know, and he's more like an Africanist, like African sound.
Okay.
That guy has a gift of grooming our teenagers and just shape the vision and actually just what's the for the lack of a better word, athinte lento ekuwena that you ongayiboni wena ukuthi khona yabo. So he would spot a talent from normal ubani. I want, okay, when this is your gift, I think you should be channeled this way. And then wangibona mina ke bengisithandela ipiano for most of the time because bengidlala itende esontweni. I was a keyboard player.
Okay.
Emshadweni and all that, yeah. So when I got exposed to the bass guitar world now, this guy was actually working for some church back home. I don't want to mention it.
Okay.
He was responsible for just the teenage ministry, just the aba encourage niggas a career guidance, advice, aba mentorish, yeah. So until he wanted to start now iband yama teenager, and if you know Mthethwa, he was already hip good piano, and there was a guy Kai Mtian, I'm sure you've met him, bass player, but he used to play guitars back then.
I remember,
so there was a drummer, there was a pianist to see, there was a guitarist to Kaya, there was a percussionist, but they didn't have a bass player in that teenage band. So Siangoba recommended me. I know Bheka can actually do this thing. Now you see, just having that faith in me, actually a bass guitar, and I didn't have one back then.
Okay.
I would just maybe acoustic guitar. Ngizamu practice my bass lines from it.
Okay.
So until this one day, I met this guy now, Ketsa Dlamini. He says, "Hey, Bheka, you can play this thing. We don't have a bassist, but now bass is le 4 string le uhambe practice ekhaya." The thing was like, I was tiny, like so tiny. So the thing was huge. And I've like short fingers, and it's born a lento, but fortunately enough, it was tuned up. Mangitata and it's okay. I remember the very first song I attempted, one of the first songs I attempted, Mangfike Kai was Siliwelile Jordan. Concord.
Concord.
So man, it took me like less than 5 minutes to figure out my octaves of the bass. It's also lenti mi kanje okay. From that point onwards, I started now listening to like serious music. There was like a lot of VHS, of contemporary gospel music. So I would make sure it's okay. I do 2 things. I study VHS until in the AMs, until 4-5 a.m. and having to wake up in school. Imagine the risk. I don't know. I think that the passion was just driving me, man. So there was a time actually I invested in like I actually wasn't even aware Guti in Lengenzayo. I wasn't even aware Guti by listening to those video cassettes and taking time, trying to cram my lines and mind you, fingering I vugi back then. So ngibamba nje lento. However, I think Yeah. So man, that really helped me because I think one Sunday I was given a chance to play one of the biggest conferences, Kona Eskawini. And everyone said, "Hey, whenever you have a different approach, your bass." And I didn't even know Bakulumangan. I mean, I was just playing what I was hearing, drawing inspiration from those guys, drawing inspiration from Abo Bra Concord, Abo Brafana Zulu. So ngimina ngihlanganisa yonke lento le, and I didn't know which thing as I'm putting all those ideas, all those approaches together, now I'm developing myself, my own unique sound, you know. So I packaged all those things together, and man, I think I was unique since then. Because yeah, man. Let's continue with the questions. I think we're going ahead.
I million now, but I mean the depth is cool for me. I mean, you can go 5 hours, it's fine. So those keep my installments. So those keep a yonki to
Sure.
But your the very first band you played with, Yibo Labo Bobala, Abo Sia, Abo Kaya. Those are the very first people you played with e-bass.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Yes. Then now, your very first gig that you played, Beniagopi. I'm thinking it's this thing. This was for a gig, right?
This was for not for a gig per se, but it was for a development program.
Oh, okay.
That was designed by the guy Lamini. Yeah, for the junior choir. For the church like Kudumenga. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. But I mean, that's where I really got to be myself, express myself among my peers.
Yeah.
Like hey, you know, what are you trying to do? So I'm in my own space. We're trying to be creative. But we want to achieve it. We want to get somewhere. And as young as we are.
So your first gig, do you remember which first gig la kolokala bonabo bani? Sengisho lele lakubhadala. Noma ngabe bekuyimali. Yeah, and nanokuthi bekuyimali.
Yeah.
Le wayithola ngalelo gig. Bonabo bani futhi?
I remember very well. It was there's a drummer / engineer. He's responsible for his sound. Kula same church gas.
Okay.
It was a wedding gig, 3-piece band. You know Sbumguni. Usbu used to play Kuleo Church, so it was a season year conference. I think it was around December time. So there was a quick wedding gig at Richards Bay by the beach somewhere, and Usbu said, "Hey man, let's go." The guy, actually the drama is called Uskais. I'm sure Abaphuma Ngasekhaya bazomkhumbula. Yeah, he's one of the pioneers. Ngasekhaya, he used to play in Abosabelo Masondo. I think he played drums on Ngubeko's first show in Durban, a stable theater. He was just one of those guys. Yeah. So yeah, he called me in that day. Here's a quick gig, Bizubega, let's go. 3-piece. Hey man, I was overjoyed and having to get paid for what I love, because I'm doing this thing for the love of it, for the fun of it. You know? I think I was paid 150 rands.
Wow.
For the gig, and man, I was grateful.
Yeah.
To me, it was just wow. Okay, time I want to sing was without asking a kaya. I would say, hey, in. So it's okay. Okay. So this could be the life. And then my first professional gig now was through Sabelo Masondo's plug.
Okay.
In Durban. I was playing for Ndogozo Mambo.
Okay.
This was years back. Even actually, Ndogozo was surprised because Sabelo has his own way of approaching Izinto. So I don't think he even told Ndogozo he's not gonna make it for the gig. and Wes I doubt he told her ukuthi kuza umfana omncane I'm preparing mentally.
Yeah.
so we go for a rehearsal. Yes, and Sbu was part of the gig as well.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah. He's actually nine because he's one of the one of the guys that believed in me and tried to go it's okay. In the modulary bass, you don't just play it, but you complement the harmony, you complement the rhythm, in this sense, and wangenza ngabaclude up about many things in music. Actually, playing as a band, ngikufunde from him.
Okay.
Because mina bengithi nje makhala ingoma ngiyadlala
Yeah.
and yonke into ebengipractice endlini angifuni ikhipha manje.
Yeah. Yonke the way you practicing a corn.
Yeah, so Umgun was one of the guys that okay, no backs ibambe kanje. So sorry man, going back to the story of the first professional gig in Devon. So siyareheza ke manje eMlazi Oasis Church Kaya, but the gig was not for the church, it was for another church in Devon
Okay.
Christian Center at Dome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of them. I think it's probably between 5,000 to 8,000 seater. It's a huge venue. So man, I was like, okay, firstly I'm overwhelmed. Okay, Ndozo Mambo. I'm going to play from Ndozo Mambo. I'm not even aware what is your practice and but I mean the now two okay. Oh, so you play bass? Oh, okay. So that kind of vibe. So she was still doing. I remember one of the songs. You are holy, oh so holy. What a privilege and honor. Yeah. So I'm gonna help me now to follow through the song quick. Okay, then nothing ibona want I know yahlangana, and then I mean, just long story short, the gig happened, and man, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Actually, it's one of the highlights. First time playing in that massive auditorium with line arrays, and so I won't take then see here somewhere.
Yeah. So it's actually pace like masa go my empire right.
Engiyizwa uthabona manje ngiyadubula ke.
Yeah.
But the quality of the bass guitar I was using is a story for another day.
Yeah. So you say balancing is card. Yeah. No, but I think it's quite interesting that whole how everything ties together. Because I think these are some of the things that we never really get to talk about. We just see somebody, working with all these people, and we think, everything was just no, there's a process to it. There are steps to how everything happened, process, and they're building blocks. And I mean, as you're explaining, the Zogeles into Zabumgu, this was his role. Umasondo, this was his role. Abanye Abantu, these were their roles. I mean, the pressure. I can just think about the pressure that you went through, now being in a space there as a young boy, dealing with, all these things. Now, this artist is this big. I mean, it's a whole lot of pressure. It's like a derby, you're choosing the Pirates.
Straight up,
today. Yeah. No, I mean,
those are my 1-0.
Yeah, we should do course. Yeah, ngiyakuso ngiyayizwa le language ukuthi lokujabula lo ukuthi kuyachaza kuyasitshela. Kodwa ke I asked people on Facebook and ngabatshela ukuthi no sizobe sino Khaya. No, sorry, sizobe sino Luke. So and then uDayidengs Leroy. I don't know if you know Leroy Kumalo. I'm sure you do.
Very well, man.
You can tell me stories. I'm certain you can. Only Roy says. I mean, he asked a lot of very fundamental questions. He always does, But he says, I must ask, the relationship he has with Sianoba from long ago, even playing in all those jazz recitals at school. How was he checking all that music? Having studied IT and not music. I also didn't know that you didn't study music. I'm thinking no, but look on food I just assume.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I can imagine, and I know it's everyone's assumption Which I know fundile lo funde in music and whatnot. Man, I wanted to pursue music professionally, because this is where I ended up anyway. But the Kaya, it was not the the ideal idea.
Sure.
So I ended up pursuing IT, computer science. Ngayenza DUT, Durban University of Technology.
Okay.
So I think I was fortunate because the music department being a movie to University of KZN back then.
Okay.
A DUT. And I would attend. There were 3 campuses. Mine was in the middle, and then music, where there was music, you had to just walk down the road for less than a kilometer.
Okay.
So man, literally each and every interval in Angitola, I would just walk down to music department and maybe practicing rhythm, practicing staff notation, and ngiyangena angibuzi ukuthi enrollanga whatnot, and fortunately enough, most of the guys there being abangani bami. Sia was there, Sia Ngoba, Sianda Zulu, trumpeter, another guy, Tabani Kapara, I think now he's in Ireland or something. He's originally Zimbabwean. And then whole lot of guys about Prince Bulo.
Okay.
So when fit about jam, I'm trying to figure out trying to learn, so I learned from observing and asking questions. I was very inquisitive when it comes to music. So I ended up being treated as if I'm one of them.
Okay.
Even lecturers, for that matter, like highly respected jazz musicians at Durban, and actually those that know them very well, they are internationally renowned. So they would ask me to come help their students for recitals, not a good benganama basis the school in, but I think they saw something unique about me, and they saw this pure talent, and now they tried to help me in a way to channel me, and they understood everything. I didn't hide anything about not enrolling on music and doing IT, but they would call me, "Hey, Bheka, are you free at this time? Come, man, we have a recital. Can you help so and so? Bheka, I have a gig in Peter Maritzburg. There's a huge festival that happens there, Royal Festival. So usually one of the days it's like hardcore jazz, swing, up tempo style, bebop. So man, I remember one of them is Makashin Naidu. He's now in Pretoria, UP. I think he's the head of music department there. He used to call me, man, frequently for those gigs. And can you imagine playing with like professionals, and when I didn't even study this thing? So I mean, anyway,
that's validation, yeah.
Yeah, man. So man, that showed me actually which this thing is actually a calling. I'm called for this vibe. Yeah. So back to Liz's question now. That's I hope I'm answering him in the process.
No, it's for me it sounds like you are, because basically question, because I think also for me, another thing I wanted to find is that wasn't it challenging then, dealing with 2 things, because now you're dealing with music at a very high level. I mean, when you're helping people with recitals and you are there and you're playing, I mean, they attend classes when you're attending different classes, but you're coming to do recitals, with them here. Them having undergone,
man,
yeah.
Okay. Our network is messing us up.
No, sorry.
Yeah, I hear you. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I think basically that's what I was trying to figure out. How was the balance for you? Did you find it easy, to get home, go home, just do something, check all those things that you learned from school, but at the same time focus also on your IT? Because I don't think, did you fail IT while you were busy doing all these recitals?
Hey man, software development is no child's play. So I think I failed about 2 modules uh, um, during my course there. But I was a nerd
Yeah,
to some extent because
yeah, yeah.
I would understand those things easily. But to answer your question, remember le enye is a natural and it's
Mm,
leo music, so
mm,
I don't struggle at all. Creativity and understanding of what's going on is
mm,
just flow and naturally
yeah.
le enye you're finding a check again to the T because I have to uh, understand all those algorithms and all
Mm,
those programming languages and and all those technical things as our IT,
mm.
the binary digits and stuff
Ooh.
like that.
Are you
Yes.
still using those things? Just by the way.
Man, I stopped for quite a while because I figured I was not really that passionate about it.
Okay.
But surprisingly enough, I acquired 2 certificates
Mm,
during the hard lockdown last year.
okay.
I studied online via Udemy.
Mm,
I found something outside of software development, cybersecurity.
mm-hmm.
I studied that, and then I did AI, artificial
Artificial
intelligence.
intelligence.
The deep learning, like Python. It's more like another weird extension of programming. Yeah.
Mm,
So I think I want to go back there because before it was really hard to strike the balance between the two, between
okay.
music and IT.
Mm-hmm.
But because of where, or rather, how our industry is now, you
Mm,
can see that you can do a bit of both.
okay.
Because now to prepare for a DVD can take you a week.
Mm,
But before it would take you like a
true.
whole month, you
True.
remember
True.
indlela sisasebenza ngayo kudala.
True.
So now we can strike that balance. So I
Mm,
think I'm warming up to it. I want to go back to it.
mm.
But I want to establish a business of some sort rather than going back to the office and then being asked questions. I'm not used to that life anymore.
Yeah,
And
I
I
don't know
think
about
life,
sensei.
I mean, at my own pace, developing my own clientele. Yeah.
All
So
right.
I think I'm gonna go back to it. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, back to your question now. I think Le Enye was natural, the
Mm,
music one. So I
mm.
wouldn't struggle. Mangifika endlini vele bengiphuma esikoleni, nginale
Uhalele, yeah.
drive ukuthi ngihalele ukuthi yabo mangifika endlini I'm gonna nail this.
Mm,
And man, I invested my time, in trying to really understand what's really going on in the fretboard gear
mm,
itself.
mm,
Now applying the knowledge engithole mina from
mm,
Amachita laphayana while they were practicing rhythm and whatnot.
mm,
And now I'm trying to read this thing and when I understand it, but now applying the knowledge engitholile mina.
mm,
And obviously I call my audio. I think I trained my ear very well.
mm,
I can capture a song just now rather
mm,
than reading it because mangifunda I have to take like a bit of time to see
mm.
what's going on. Okay, cool. Then we go. But audio, I can crack it just now. So man, I think it wasn't that much of a hassle
Mm.
to balance the two. And of course, uyazi ukuthi mawusesikoleni you even psychologically you are prepared to work hard.
Sure.
Uyazi ukuthi okay, this is what I'm gonna do now. Ngizoshaya le way your music ngiqede ngayo ngingene ku-homework yesigela
Mm.
ngipushele programming, practice lama-algorithms, and then ngibe sharp mangifika esikoleni ekuseni. So it wasn't that much of a battle.
Yeah. And I think also because vele ukhuluyenza, I mean, bolala ngo-5 wena. Bolala
Yeah.
ngo-5 makufaka uye esikolweni uvuye ngo-6. So I
Yeah.
think it was just a minor adjustment ukuthi okay, so siyayiqhubekisa manje e-university this time. But he asked a
Yeah,
second
man.
question. He says the group suite concept, is there any new music that we can wait for? Reunion of all those, those guys.
Ish, man. Oh man. Yeah, man. Hey,
Abobani kuqala
back.
lapha.
Hey,
Because
man. He's
asibazi
bringing
thina.
back many great memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet Concept was myself, Sia
Mhm.
on keys. Actually, Sia was the only one
Mm,
playing boards at the time,
mm.
and then later wajoinwa uBheki Mthembu,
Okay.
uBazonke,
Mm,
and then we had 2 horn players. The sax player I spoke about earlier, Utabani Kapara,
mhm.
and Usianda Zulu. We didn't have a trombone.
Okay.
And then on drums we had Usbu Zondi.
Okay.
But I remember, I think just before I joined Sweet Concept, I don't know, Lee would help me remember this, because I remember the very first gig they did, I wasn't part of it.
Okay.
I wasn't part of the band. I think there was Umboni Sintlego, another great bass player from Devon. And then Uli himself was playing drums.
Oh, okay. Google that band.
That band, yeah. I don't know whether the Sweet Concept brand figure straight after or initially mabeqala behlangana. But there was a gig by Enzepet Center. I attended that gig. Hey man, the guys were happening. And then, I was privileged. Mabang Bizayindo to come join us. I didn't ask many questions. Hey, what happened to Ntlego? And then soon enough, I saw Sengena Usbu. I didn't ask many questions. I was just passionate about playing.
Ready to play, yeah.
Yeah, man. That band was I don't know. I cannot group it. Baby sound and jengalo, because we were exploring from West Africa to the Western sounds that you can think of. Electronics, we're just exploring. We were a snacky puppy of the time.
Okay.
Yeah. We were just, man, putting ideas together, and we were sounding solid like this.
So are you gonna regroup anytime soon? Any new music?
The guys tried about a year. Yeah, actually 2 years ago. I was, unfortunately, must get the school in song. We went our separate ways, trying to figure out this life thing, individually to develop a career. So it was hard to uklangana as a band, until Tabani relocated overseas. So it happened about 2 years ago. We came back, and Umebuya, he wanted us to do something together. Unfortunately, I wasn't available at the time. I think Nambeng prepared my show this side. But Amachita, INZ, the show AUKZN, Jazz Center, I think as Jazz Rainbow. I think they did about 3 venues at Devon. I wasn't part of it. Yeah, they featured a bass player called Senzo Mdamba.
Okay.
So, but I mean, that was the idea of warming up to the idea of reunion and finally putting a record together as to keep and sell it. So right now we are hardly even communicating about the vibe, but I think the one that keeps really pushing this thing, Ufuna Slangane, Usianda Zulu, because I think he still believes in what we were cooking together back then.
Are these works documented anyway, like with Sweet Concepts?
Man, we did an album that didn't succeed. It didn't. We didn't get to the final stage of releasing it.
Okay.
So about over a decade ago. We still do have a couple of tracks there and there. I'm sure Sianda is keeping most of the records. I think he's holding the heart of the band. Than most of us. Yeah. But I think he's the one that has the entire history of Sweet Concept. Yeah.
Okay. No, asking Supernal Sounds. This is his third question, Uli. Saying the brand Supernal Sounds, what was it inspired by? Question number 1 of question number 3. It gave birth to a totally different sound in the industry and created a very huge awareness on listening out for the bass. So it's the only question of question number 3. So he's asking what inspired it.
Okay, firstly, Kumalo, thank you so much, man, for appreciating my craft. Man, I'm grateful. Thank you. Mankalengena kule industry, more especially from 2010, where because actually, by the way, after after doing IT, I worked for 2.5 years as a junior developer for one of the companies, Adapt IT, as a Mhlanga at Durban. So during the time, Sabelo, I think he was doing Barnyard while he was still part of Joyous. I think they were on Joyous 12 around that time. So there was like a season for like 6 months he wasn't available. So he recommended me and Pangfonela Babulindelan to come help them while Sabelo was away, and then Maibuya, and he took over. So during the time being Saspana, as a developer in IT, and then they would fly me on Fridays to Joburg and then travel maybe Saturday morning to where the gig was at the time. Yeah. So until now, 2010, when I resigned Msebenzini, and by the time, fortunately enough, there was an opening what Joyous for a bass player. So Bangbiza to record it just 15. And Mangena Lapo, hey man, the level of reception from Abantu, even non-musician people, appreciating my gift, and not only bass players, not only pianists, not only drummers, like literally everyone. Entertainment, you were bringing something different to gospel industry and all the encouraging stuff. And later on, I think around 2013, I Bengitimang a show in Israel. Like all the bass players are starting to sound like me.
Yeah,
You know,
so I usually.
yeah, singing Israel. Emma Kerk
Yeah, ngathi yini.
yeah, ngathi so and then I something inside me, young man, you are called for this. You are called to channel bass players. You are called to always,
lead the way,
coming up with something fresh, reinventing something new and introduce it to these guys. So there was a time Labes and Katela Kona ugo by a backing bass player.
Okay.
But now my heart was becoming sore because I was thinking for the guys that look up to me. I'm talking about the guys being Mangema Festival in Rezu. They want to sound like me. My church, they want to sound like me. So these guys are looking up to me, and now I should continue to channel. So when now feeling I've reached the ceiling, because I wanna you wanna play with so and so.
Sure.
It's okay now singing.
So I shy won't get a gig, yeah. So
there's nothing to look
yeah.
to look forward to.
Sure.
In that phenomenon. So I thought now, okay, let me start something of my own. I think the next best thing in Ngayenza is doing something of my own, and then that's where Supernal was birthed. Supernal Sounds. 2013, I remember I even prayed. I was very spiritual about it. I even prayed and fasted, and funny enough, that season it was too dry for me. Not even receiving one call for like 3 months for it.
I think we lost your audio. Go. Oh yeah, it's back. Sorry. We with 3 months not getting a call.
Okay, cool. Let me recap from there. Yeah. So 3 months only call Yamagiki. And at that time, Vele, you are planning to fast and pray, but you are on side. The fasting at my
young forced.
I'd say young forced.
Yeah.
So that very year, I did my first show with Vets. That show, man, I was featuring Mams Bongile Kumalo. I was featuring Umbuso Koza. I was featuring Sis Judith Sepuma. I was featuring Kaya Mthethwa. And I was featuring Sabelo Masondo. Man, I was amazed by the turnout. Yeah, as a Vets Great Hall.
Yeah.
uyayazi inkulu kanjani that. So I was tired of looking for a venue at Joburg, you know. Wonke were turning me down. Amanye aweko, you know, conducive for the kind of people I think can attend my show. So ngavela ngathi man ngiyayithatha events. Nayo ngiyithathiswa ukuthi they can split it into two. Bayakhona ukuyivala if the audience, if the show didn't sell well. Bayakhona ukuyivala. So it's okay. Then even if I can have 100 people, bangakhona ukuyivala, and then it's going to be a show. Man, I was amazed. Full like to the capacity. I think the packs there is around 1,036 people. It was packed. And I thought to myself, okay, no, these people are bazanga game. I think bazagu Mamsbongile Kumalo or bazagu Banban. But by the end of the show, I realized those people came for me. You know. And so to answer Ukumalo, Supernal Sounds was inspired by the mandates and the objective of continuing to channel Amajita, because I felt it's okay. Now I don't have the passion of creating grooves every now and then. Some of the gospel songs are fun, you know, and you end up like exhausting your what's this? A quarter tank creativity.
Sure.
So I felt like okay now say I need something more challenging. And then that actually I've never been big on improv. I've always been a backing bass player, you know, holding the harmony together, holding the rhythm together, holding groove, and making sure that the other guys at the party of the band are sounding nice and solid. Yeah. So when I started with the Supernal, now it was forcing me to, you know, think outside the box and explore harmony even further, you know, and start now checking my modes, something you know, and all those technical stuff. In a corner with the purpose of continuing to channel, you know. And then one day, mina ngilezi vele started dictionary nje zifunde. Just to check, okay, what's the new word I told namhlanje? And I need one of that word supernal. Okay, I've never heard of this word. It says something of exceptional quality. Okay, it's a color, something celestial, something heavenly, something of great quality or extent. It's okay. Okay, now this sounds like me. You know? I'm trying to branch out of my gospel proclivities by incorporating other world music elements like jazz, gospel yami, you know, some world music elements. I fuse all get together so that I can come up with something unique and fresh, and for the guys to continue, you know, to learn from me.
Yeah.
So this supernal, I know, man. So supernal sounds. It sounds like me.
Yeah.
So that was basically in a nutshell the birth of supernal sounds. Yeah.
All right. Usipho Lumko says, bro, ask him, how does he create a bass line of a new song? And as Nomi says, yes, as Sam.
Hey, because this is one of the hardest questions ever. Because it talks to creativity. Sometimes I was explaining creativity because it comes naturally go away.
Sure.
So but I'm all about the basics. I'm one person who would say I sit and listen first before I attempting playing ngoma. I need to just introduce something on top of it. I'm happy. I'm gone. No. Yeah, I trouble my mind. I trouble my thinking, and against things that I've played before, and against other bass lines that I've checked before. You know, and some of the bass lines, actually, most of the bass lines I don't create from scratch. It's just inspirations. I throw that piece. I steal it from Brafana Zulu there and there. I steal it from Bra Lucas Sinyaso, then there, Bra Concord, Bra Sabelo Masondo, for instance, there's a song, Eti mbonge. Yeah. If I would tell you the story of that song, you'd laugh. Actually, the story of that bass line, because it happened before we went for a field, Sisintokozo Mambo, rather first rehearsal of that DVD. I was just listening to Brafana, and go YouTube, I came across a video. I think they were performing now Brahu somewhere, and a song featuring Umam Sbongile. It's in Funu Buyele streets. Something like that.
Buyele.
Yes. If you listen to that song, you'd hear Umbongi, you'd hear that bass line straight up. I just copied it, then my modernizer there and there, here and there, here and there. So interesting. It's all about troubling your mind. Don't just rest on a comfort zone. Once you're in that space of creativity, because everyone can play. There are many great musicians out there, but what separates Bonga from the rest, what separates you from the rest is how you create, rather. So if you can trouble your mind and create something new, or reinvent something that was invented before and make it sound fresh, you are gone. So that's all. That's how I actually approach my bass creation, bass groove, or whatever the bass.
Uyiphendulile. Yabona le question uyiphendulile. Mina bengengazi ukuthi singayiqala kanjani uyiphendule. The question is deep kanje. Yeah, no, but I think you've given him a lot. I mean, I didn't think ukuthi sizofika la. But I mean, also what you're talking about, of actually building from what's already available, because there's so much that's available and inspiration is everywhere. And sometimes we're not actually, paying attention, but also of, listening, before you play, so that you actually are connecting something to something, because as musicians, we're creators. So we're there to create something. So taking the time to, to connect to what you're hearing before you actually can interpret it, I think it's very valuable advice. Kona, any question? I'm a question out too. Hey, maningi lama questions esazodila ngawo la. Kodwa uNkanyiso Martin ubuza ukuthi when can we expect a follow-up to Supernal Sounds?
Brilliant question.
Bondi.
Yes, Bondi. Like if you listen to my answers carefully, sometimes they sound diplomatic, but the purpose for that, Wuti, I don't just work without a purpose. So right now I have the material, it's ready, but I'm just waiting for that drive. Okay, now Bheka, I think you can record this and release it for this specific purpose. Yeah. I don't just do things as a follow-up of what, for the sake of doing them. And I don't have pressure. Yoguti, I lose following, I lose whatnot, because I know I'm different. So to answer Unkanyiso, I think it's just a matter of timing now, but it's getting very close to it. I think later this year or early next year, I'll be releasing my second installment of Supernal Sounds. Yeah.
All right. So his question number 2 is, you lock so well with drummers like Sabusacha and Sinigiwe Mabaso. When rehearsing music, do you sit and plan grooves with the drummer, or must your relationship with him or her be telepathic? I think, all right. Yeah, all right. No, throw off, man. I realize it's not women drummers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not about telepathy at all, Nkanyiso. Um, but for me, it's understanding the basic roles of a bassist, and um, a bass player only deals with three basic elements of the music. It's rhythm, harmony. Actually, two most important: rhythm and harmony, and then melody gets in there if you have to play a melody or you are given a solo or something like that. So I always make sure that these two are on lockdown. Rhythm, I it talks to locking with the drummer every step of the way. Harmony talks to complementing everything that is happening in the scene, on stage, or wherever you are in that phenomenon, in that environment, meaning complementing the singers. You don't want to crowd the singer because you are a great bass player, but you want to complement whatever she sings, whatever melody she's singing, whatever harmony she's applying in the music. You don't want to overcrowd keyboard players and all the other elements in the music. You must create space for them while you lay the background. Ukuthi basound better, because in bass actually doesn't matter how sophisticated the chord is, doesn't matter how sophisticated the harmony is, but without bass, it's indefinite.
Sure.
So once you put that root note on it, now it defines what's okay. Also, the quality of this chord, ile. So if your note is 6, for instance, D minor, now you play that 6. Just to define that harmony, to define the quality of that chord, so everyone can tell. Okay, so the root note of this song is D minor, because Bheka is playing bass. So if you can have that awareness, during your creation period, and then take that element, the harmony, apply it now with the rhythm. So I think someone who carries more burden than anyone else in a band is a bass player, because a drummer can just play a pattern, a groove pattern. He doesn't have to complement harmony that much. But you as a bass player, you have to, while you complement the drummer, locking together, you also have to be aware of what's happening harmonically in the song. So I make sure that whichever drummer I work with, I can work with anyone. I can meet someone today. I can meet someone in America right now. We will always sound together because of these basics. I always make sure that we sound together. We don't discuss most of the things, but you can. I've developed some sort of leadership skills around that, around the creation period or around the band phenomenon. Okay, I must always make sure I create space for everybody. And I break the rules a bit to have fun within a song, within the music, but make sure that we sound together. All that I have to achieve and all that you have to achieve now in Lapunkanyiso as a bass player, make sure that you guys sound together. Don't sound like a bass player, sound like a bass player.
All right. The next one is from Inos Mbodi. He's asking, ask him, what is the drive that makes him wake up every day and do music?
Yeah, I think innovation. As much as I'm passionate about music, but I'm an innovator than an emulator. So I'm inspired by everybody that wakes up and take a chance and do something. Because innovators are the ones that follow their hearts, take a chance, and make sure whatever that is instilled in their hearts. For instance, I always believe with whatever that is in my heart, Imego Jehovah. And so if I wake up and having that desire, having that passion of achieving the thing, I'm working towards innovation. And then emulators are the ones that after success has been achieved, they follow Baba Ma copycats. Okay, now Dr. Tumi has introduced this modern soft rock sound. sizame nathi.
Yeah, sonke siyala.
Lion of Judah,
Sonke siyala.
I'm not like that. I always try to be innovative at all times. So I think what drives me and what helps me to be this consistent, Uguti, I always wake up with that passion to innovate, with that passion to create, and with that passion to achieve something different, something new that has never been achieved before.
Yeah,
I hope I'm answering you there.
Kakhulu. Nami ngi-answereka la. Number 2, what will make him stay out of music, if at all?
I think the day to our music doesn't exist anymore.
So nothing.
Yeah, nothing basically. Because it's my first love. I've taken many risks in life to keep my music side alive. I've imagined quitting a well-paying job and imagine how booming the IT industry is right now.
Crazy.
Imagine had I not resigned 10 years ago as a developer, ngabe nguphi manje? Ngabe maybe ngiflyele ngehelicopter, nginphosela ama 1000.
Yeah. I'm riding. Some are really fun.
Yeah, I'm nice. So I mean, I'm trying to say it really would take a lot for me to quit what I'm doing, and actually to answer you quite frankly, nothing.
Okay. Yeah, we are answered. His third question is, he sings very well and he plays very well too. Is there a time where he will do a whole show without playing?
Oh, that's a hard one. Okay, firstly, thanks for the compliment. Thanks for the compliment. As much as we are sure of what we're doing, but these assurances are needed.
Yeah,
to really assure us.
Sure.
Because as much as they are there, these assurances, but there's many discouragements as well.
Sure.
Why I've received those a lot, and they don't bother me at all. But I appreciate this assurance, man. So I think one day when I plan to maybe do an R&B album for my wife, I can just sing entirely without playing. But the drive behind me playing while singing is just to show the world that a musician that is normally oh God, a musician that is
a company
that is usually perceived or expected to be a company, can take the center stage with this instrument. Basically, us bass players are always behind, and people even hardly notice us, because we like holding our spots and making sure that we support everybody in front. But now the picture I'm portraying is that a bass player, rather a musician that usually holds that position, can subvert and take the center stage, sing while playing, and do it together nicely, and inspire everyone else in the process.
Yeah. No, the last person who asked a lot of questions too, but I think a lot of them we've covered. I'll just browse through them. If me and you feel like we've covered them, so jump. If we feel like maybe there's still something I add, then we'll answer. His name is Buhlali Madire. Question number 1 is, how long has he been playing for? Maybe we can just answer that.
My maths is not serving me well just now.
Yeah.
Playing generally, I started back in the village, Angiti, playing that.
So what's Tinta now?
Angasithinta because
We missed that in your earlier thing. What's it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think I jumped the guns a lot, but Nasinda, because actually, yo. Actually, one of my ultimate inspirations. Um, I was just walking, and then there was an old man. He was playing his guitar, self-crafted with the container yamafuta, with that cooking oil container. And then there was another man. Don't know what kind of creativity that is. Now, yeah, he crafted drums. He pedal was itayere moto, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, the pedal, and then he had as a bass drum he had iskuples samazayon as a bass drum, and
Okay.
then he had tin tips, well, lots of tin tips as a hi-hat yak on the side, and then the snare was the top side of that scoop. I don't know what's called, the drum. Yeah, one of the Zion percussion drums.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, I think what was the top side of it. If we so he would kick with that Tyrell motor somehow. I don't know how he created that thing. He would kick, and they were playing reggae. And this old man was just there with his chord, two-piece band. Hey man, I sat there as a young boy, listening to these guys playing. Oh man, I drew so much inspiration. And then when I went home, I thought about, okay, let me approach that old man. Angibonisa ukuthi ucreate kanjani lesiginci sakhe, and then angifundise just a few things. And one key, Baba. If you want to take the key up, you must get that bridge. Yeah. And then so playing in that sense started when I was still a little boy, but I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know where I was going. And then the actual playing now, when I got to learn a keyboard and play a church, was in 99. Yeah, I was still young. I was still young then. But I played, and I thought I was going to be a keyboard player for the rest of my life. So I played, but something very, very interesting about my keyboard playing. My left was strong because I always loved the bass line, even from the keyboard. Yeah, my left was strong against the triads that I used to play with the right hand. Yeah, and I think the beginning of my music journey in kuma what are these inkonzo yethiwa yini revivals. Yeah. Kuma revivals and conferences around 99, and then now to be introduced to like contemporary music where you hear, because I hated the sound of piano. For most of my years, I hated the sound of the piano because of the village inspirations and the perceptions of music. We always hear these synth sounds, the modulations that and straight, those fully bodied sounds. And then piano was sounding weird for me until one day, actually to be precise, at high school when I met Mthethwa. We were doing grade 10. Oh man, he played that classic music. Kusia would play used to play for the choir as a schooling back then. Can you imagine? As young as he was, I believe he couldn't read back then, but he would play that music by ear, because they would call a professional pianist to come, and then he would play the song professionally from a reading score.
Yeah.
And then I would just memorize all the chords. Okay, this is how the song goes, and that's it. He would just jump on it. Hey man, it was inspired, and then our relationship grew in leaps and bounds from then. So 2001, I'm connecting now, trying to answer, when did my playing go? And then 2002, the bass thing started to highlight a certain spark, to develop a certain interest. and then fully when I was doing matric in 2003. I'm not exposing my age, but 2003 when I was doing matric, then it was then I started like fully practicing bass guitar now, and then I moved to Durban in 2004. Now pursuing tertiary education.
Okay.
You know, when I went to study computer science. So so if you can count now, say for the bass 2003 until now, and then you have your answer.
Yeah. In mathematics, I think it's about it's about 18 years or so. If you're saying from 2003. Give or take.
For the bass.
For the
give or take,
for the bass. Yeah, but next time when we talk to you, I think I'd like to know more about that. Usaphil, the one that
he passed on, man, before I could even play that piano. I think he passed on
a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago, even before I left the village. Yeah.
Before you even went to Eskawin.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting to, for him to see the investment, that whole thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it would have been great. Yeah. But so his second question then is, who inspired him to play bass? I don't know if we've answered that. I think yeah.
I don't think I have one person, okay, this one, but answering you earlier on, drawing inspirations from
many different people.
Masondo, Babu Mshweshwe, the guys that I would see playing live, Ekasi, you know. So I think those were my ultimate inspirations. Even though I extended my music vocab by listening to others while I was still in that environment. So ultimately, Sabelo Masondo would be the one. Yeah.
Dope. His third question is, how did he become popular in the industry?
That one is
difficult.
Is tricky. Yeah, because I don't even know when did I become popular.
You see, so
but I think connections, the plugs, because I didn't mention with my first professional DVD was in 2009, where I played for Ubaba Mthunzi Number. There's that song, there's that album yake, it's Mercy rewrote my life. Yeah, that was my first professional DVD. But he had seen me from Ungubeko because of the Dogozo Mambo gig, you know. So it's a series of things, series of connections from one dot to another. But and by like one family, because if you talk about Ngubeko, you talk about Mthunzi, you talk about Ulindelani Mkhize, you talk about, you know, Jabu Hlongwane. So
interconnections.
I'm sure which who asked this question? Is it still Inos?
No, says Buhlali.
Oh, Buhlali, yeah. So I'm sure Buhlali started seeing me from Joya's stage. So I think Joyous really introduced me to the masses. And
And this is how you became popular.
Yeah, I'd like to believe so.
I'd like to believe so too. So his fourth question: what inspires his playing? What inspires your playing?
Uniqueness.
Okay.
Authenticity. And uniqueness, because I believe once you dig deep down in your heart, you become authentic, and authenticity brings about uniqueness. And I think those are the two things that really inspire my playing. You know?
All right. His last question is: any tips for young bass players?
I think basics, basics of the basics. What is the role of a bass and a bass player? Understand that one. understand harmony, understand rhythm very well, because once you have an understanding of the progression of the songs, the harmonic elements that are and the approaches as such in the swalapo, you have a lot to explore. Once you confidently know it's okay, this is the geography of the song. You can be very much creative. You can, once you understand the chord tones and then you can develop rhythm better, knowing you don't clash with other players at a party. Yeah. So I think check those things, basics of the basics, the basic role of a bass player, harmonic foundation, rhythmic elements, and then complement the melody and everything else that happens now.
Yeah. So that's the end of their questions. I think sesiya ngasekugcineni kwalama questions ebengiwaprepareile. But from my own observation of listening to your works, I kind of felt a lot of vibes, like influences. It kind of just took me back to a whole lot of things, like your gospel according to jazz, like your your Frank McComb kind of thing, like all those things that were happening, So, but I just wanted to know, Guti, when as a person who created supernal sounds, where directionally do you think your the actual mandate? You explained your mandate to the bass player, and I understand that. So I'm trying to find now more a target market kind of mandate. Uguti, is your biggest drive introducing a different sound to the gospel cats, to the gospel community, or is your biggest drive also maybe taking the message of the gospel to the world? Like, for example, all those stages, because it sounds like something that I could listen to, if I was at, Cape Town Jazz, or if I was playing at, Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, or, all those kind of, venues. When I hear the sound, I'm like, this sound fits here. The only thing that is foreign to the sound in that place is the message. So I just wanted to know, Guti, what is it? As far as Moibuga Yonke Lento Suyenzin, where is the space for it really? What did you have in mind?
Man, your thinking is very much alike with look.
Sure, look.
Yeah, man. So exactly that. Taking the message, spreading the gospel to the world. Yeah. Or when I actually was visualizing supernal sounds, if you listen exactly to the sound, you would relate it about Kekwelem, about Frank McComb, as you mentioned them. The sound is in that nature. So the fusion of world music elements makes the instrumental part of it acceptable, is rather easily acceptable. Stages are mine.
Yes.
And then now you get a chance of spreading the message. Using those instrumentations behind. So that's the ultimate objective of supernal sounds. And I was hoping by this time I would have hit Cape Town Jazz, Joy of Jazz, but I mean everything is a build up,
sure.
Step by step. So one day I'll hit those stages, and continue with the mandate.
Yeah, and also I wanted to figure out, Guti, do you think that our industry is doing enough to embrace new concepts? Or do you think just everybody's kind of trying to force everybody to follow the same thing? And I'm asking this because, you definitely are, pushing boundaries, whichever way, whether we're looking at it in the church, if you were to present your music to the church, it's pushing boundaries. If you were to present your music in like Cape Town Jazz, even all the other spots that we spoke about, is pushing boundaries because of the message, not necessarily the sound. The sound is at home, but the message is like, the Jesus thing is not really like a strong thing there, So do you think that, the industry itself is open or supportive enough, of innovation?
Yeah. To best answer you, I would say our industry is fortunate and unfortunate.
Diplomatic.
Unfortunate because abantu that are perceived to be leaders or executives or in strategic positions, have a certain sound that they think should be representing South Africa.
Sure.
Forgetting that we as South Africans, we unlike Congolese. If you go to Congo, you would maybe go wonke ama stages they're playing Eben and Kwasa. Here we are very much diversified. In this. So maybe fortunate because when you introduce something new, it forces you to develop a mind of a pioneer. Pioneers always suffer.
It's a truth.
I don't know of any pioneer that hasn't suffered for years before they can see their success.
Sure.
So once you bring something new on the table, especially in South Africa, for instance, because Kurumanga industry, you must have that patient heart. Okay, I'm introducing this little by little. First, don't forget to say abanye abantu are not musically there, so you have to give them years for them to catch up, to come to the level, and be patient with yourself in the process.
Sure.
And then don't lose heart, because it's very easy to get discouraged and lose heart. So continue with what you want to do. Have that mind of a pioneer, and just know, because there's only one thing guaranteed. But one day, success will be realized. You will realize your success, and definitely you will prosper.
True.
So I think that's how I would answer you.
Hey, ngiyakuzwa mfowethu, ngiyakuzwa. Uthiphu bengingazi lokhu ukuthi uthiphu kangaka. Hey, bengingazi. Hey, look mfowethu. So what experience gave you the most valuable lessons as a musician?
As a musician, generally.
In general.
I think the experience, rather the fact that we don't have a stable income that comes to you, for you to make it, you gotta work really hard.
Sure.
And sometimes combine a bit of working hard with working smart. Because I know a lot of people that work hard, but that are not successful at all, because they only believe in the hard way of working, not the smart way of working. The smart way of working would be after practicing for 10 years. Now let me approach the people that can help me make the world listen to what I was practicing, in the business point of view. So I think those experiences for me it became really really hard and angibekela khona, and definitely the highlights of being a musician.
No mfethu sesethuze kakhulu nokuvala, kodwa besangayidonsa even some more. But what is your dream for the industry, man? I can see ziningi izinto ozenzayo, ziningi izinto that I hear, maslo sikhuluma la ukuthi there's actually a big thought process, that you have, or it's not, I pay just at making music, and playing. You sound like a person who thinks a lot, about things. But what is your dream for the industry?
I think logically is togetherness. We are not together in the music industry. West gospel scene, not together at all.
True.
Yet we claim to be lifting one name, which is the name of Jesus. So I think the dream I have is seeing everyone collaborating together. Seeing everyone bringing in the element of oneness, not just for publicity or for PR exercise or anything like that. Yeah, but from the genuineness of the heart, becoming one, and then I believe this industry would be much better, and this nation would be much greater if we would come together. So that's the dream I'm praying for and hoping for in the future.
And we all hope that we achieve it. My very last question before I say bye-bye to you today. I just want to know, Wuti, if you were to go back to your 12-year-old self, I don't know how old you were, most of my then Wuti, if you were to go back to yourself then, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh man, why such a deep question? Yeah, Sisval. But I think I would advise myself to learn. Learn to learn. I took this from someone else. I heard someone say, "Learn to learn." The first learn is for information, and the second learn is for the attitude of learning. So I would develop the attitude of learning because during the times and the environment in Kuleguyo, exposure was not even a subject. You grow up, you bonilang alpuma, we are walker, miles going to a school, and that's the life, and that's about it. So I think learning, or maybe finding ways of sourcing advice from genuine hearts or abantu that have achieved in life, for them to channel me at a very young age, So man, such a deep question, but I think I would answer it that way. Yeah.
I mean, the amount of, this was not a short interview. But this was a very full interview. I think everything that you have given us, now we at least know more about you and about your philosophies and what you think, and how you think. Obviously we can never get into the actual depth of how you think, but at least through this interview we're able to sithole kancane isithombonyana kancane ukuthi kahle kahle uLuke ubani kahle kahle. Mfethu sibonga kakhulu, and I'd just like to thank you on behalf of everybody that is part of Drum Catalyst, but also thank you for all the contribution that you've made. I mean, it's not a small thing. All these compliments that everybody has been saying here are very real. They're very real. We've been seeing. I get to gigs and I'm like, I can hear that boy. Same time, uyamuzwa nje ukuthi hayi uthi uphuma nje uthi no lana ayikafiki kahle kodwa isendleleni iyakhona. But I mean, it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing to to get a whole country and a lot of people, to influence so many people. When people are influenced by so many bad things, so to have people who actually influence people to go do positive things is something that we cannot take lightly. Siyabonga kakhulu mfethu for isikhathi sakho, siyabonga for your contribution yakho to the music industry, and man, may you be blessed, may you find the money very soon, soon and very soon. Yeah, soon and very soon. We all do, but we pray that everything works out.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated. Thanks to you, Luke. Thanks to the Drum Catalyst crew, and thanks to everyone that tuned in, and thanks to everyone that prays for me, encourages me, and everyone that appreciates my gift. And also thanks to those that hate it, because they keep on encouraging me to work hard. God bless you guys, and keep safe, sanitize,
wear a mask. Thank you, my father.
Thanks, my bro. Thanks.